Hi, welcome to the Old Geezer's Diary. This is a sight of the sea which is a little series I'm doing with an occasional look at the seaside, because so many people love the sea, love to get down to the seaside and just don't get here often enough, so I thought I'd try and bring you a look at the sea occasionally. Just nothing exciting, just to look at the sea and what it's like on this particular day. And today is Wednesday the 25th of September 2024, and it's pretty calm down here. So here we are on the beach at Felixstowe, looking out into the wild North Sea. Not very exciting North Sea actually, as it happens. The wind is around easterly and it's blowing in at sort of 7, 8, 9, 10 knots, creating some small wavelets really, and nothing very dramatic, nothing very exciting. We'll look forward to that in the winter when we get the odd gale or two, but just today it's quite pleasant. It was calmer than this earlier this morning, but I thought I'd save up filming until a little later in the day when we got a bit more breeze, a bit more action. The tide is coming up, it's rising gradually. I had my feet just about down there a few minutes ago, and I'll move them to just there now to get them out of the way of the waves. And once a wave comes up to where I'm sitting or standing, I'll move myself and get out of the way. Because there's one thing that we all know, what King Canute knew, which is you can't stop the sea. Isn't that great? I just love it. I just love watching the sea. I want to see if we can just catch a wave coming up a little bit higher than the rest as the tide rises. Quite difficult to do because you can't predict. Oh, look at that. Yeah, nearly. You can just see where the dark sand is there, and the dark sand obviously is a wet sand, and it's showing up now as the waves come in. Little by little they'll gradually cover that bit of wet sand completely, and the wave reach will go up the beach and eventually get to kind of there where those rocks are, and where the steep bit of beach, you can see that, can't you? The steep bank of shingle is, and that's where the high tide has been getting to. Been getting quite close to the prom, to the concrete promenade we have here, but not overtopping it unless we have some really big waves. waves are coming in better now, or coming in further now. Certainly much stronger coming up with the tide, I think. And that bit of rock that we were previously looking at is now getting covered more often as the tide rises. If you watch the tide rising, it comes up in quite an interesting way. That's got there's something called the rule of thirds, which is how the tide ebbs and increases, how it rises. And when you're looking at the rising tide, it rises over 6 hours and declines over 6 hours. Just a little bit more actually, because it rotates by about an hour a day, high tide. And it just increases over the period of time, and it builds up and then it slopes down again. I'll get the detail of that for you one of these days when I think about it. Wow! Oh, the tide's coming up now around my feet. How exciting! Am I going to be cast away here with Felixstowe? What do you make of that? Have you heard about that? Well, I think it's time to say that's your sight of the sea for today, for Wednesday. I'll try and do a little bit more maybe tomorrow or the next day. Keep your eye on the Old Geezer's Diary. We'll do our best to bring you a sight of the sea 2 or 3 times a week at least. I'm Chris, this is the Old Geezer's Diary. This is Sight of the Sea on the 25th of September 2024. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.